So we've got 2 sections of the second movement of the Lincolnshire Posy to go through 50 through 98 and then 130 to the end. A little bit you should know about this piece. So it's called The Lost Lady Found. What happens in this story is there is a young woman who is apparently stolen away by the gypsies, and she's taken away, and it's years and years. So it kind of starts out, pretty lighthearted, right? And then all of a sudden it gets darker and darker. So what happens is she's gone forever, and her uncle gets accused of being the one that got rid of her. And so he's basically going to be put to the death. So the song gets really, really dark for a while. And then it starts to kind of get smoother, right? So what happens is her sweetheart goes and tries to find her, and he actually does. And so he brings her back, and so her uncle is saved because now we know that he's innocent, right? He didn't do anything. So by 1:30 in the piece, you'll notice it gets happier again. And so what that is supposed to be is a celebration that she's back. And in the full band, you would hear a whole bunch of like bells and chimes. They have these things called crotales, which are a different type of bell that we don't own. And so it's a big celebration. I'm not exactly sure why he ends the piece minor though. The last chord is like this. I don't know why he ends it like that. Granger's a little bit weird, but yes, it ends a little bit sad. Another thing to note, at the end, you might have an asterisk, and it says that you're not actually supposed to hit that high note at the same time. That's actually true. Another weird effect that he wanted. 130, notice flutes. You have like 4 notes to pick from, and that's totally fine. You would just pick whichever one. Just kind of know which one you're going to play in play tests, okay? But yeah, you could pick any of those 4. So the first section, when we're at 50, this all was super really light and bouncy before, but now she's been taken away and the uncle's starting to be confused. So it gets smoother. Baseline, you're just holding that long note. Remember how I said it gets really dark for a while? You might have some options of different notes too. You change chords a couple times. By the time you get to 66, you get to move a little bit, but it's not a ton. I'm envisioning that this is the part where he's going to start to be put to death, right? And then we get to 82. And if you notice the flute part, so the part 1, if you have it, not just the flutes, but part 1 starts to get kind of bouncy again. Maybe this is the part where the sweetheart has found her and it just needs to take her back. So he's found her, and so they're running back, maybe kind of bouncing their way back through the hills and valleys where this would be. So that would be that part. Then it gets really, really sharp at 94, 95, 96, 97. And then we've talked about 98 before. Now when you get to 130, we talked about that. That's huge bells and stuff, and you're kind of going to hear that in the flutes. So that effect of those 4 notes together makes it sound like bells. So even if you didn't have those parts covered or something, you would hear that. And then the melody just gets thrown into part 2 and 3. So now you should have everything for the second movement for Lincolnshire Posy. You may not be able to play it as fast as the J.W. Pepper recording, but see what you can do. Okay, once you get it on your fingers, try to work it up to tempo. All right, bye.